Hello and welcome to episode 60 of the Geek Hard Games podcast. I'm Sam Suvak alongside Cody Tetrick. Cody, how's it going?
It's going pretty well, Sam. How are you?
Is it going pretty well?
Yay!
We're lucky to be here. We're not here. Discord decided to have some issues. I don't know. I feel like we're cursed this week. We keep trying to record and it keeps not happening. So, I don't know. But hopefully our luck has turned, and I don't know, I probably just jinxed it. Now we're going to have hella issues doing this episode.
Like halfway through the podcast, everything's just going to
stop. My power's going to go out again. It's going to be great.
Oh, God.
But hey, we'll talk fast, I guess. So, yeah. All right. Before we get into some video games, there was just a little, kind of PSA, I guess, announcement that I want to make about the God of War Novelization. So, J.M. Barlow, I think is his name. Barlog is, I think, the author's name. He's Cory Barlog's dad, and he wrote the novel adaptation of God of War video game. Which I was like, dude, that's probably going to be really cool, right? Because he's probably going to get more in depth into feelings and everything that's going on, and you just feel it more deeply. It was on sale for the Kindle store for $1.99, so I was like, yeah, let's get it, let's do this. So I got it, and I can't recommend this book, Cody.
Oh, really?
No, I cannot. I did not enjoy it really. It's still because the God of War story is so emotional that when you get to those parts, it still affected me, and I was crying, but it just it just didn't go deep, really. Yes, that's and she was just as dissatisfied as I am right now.
Oh, damn, Sam.
Mm-hmm, yeah, it was part of what makes that game so great is the visuals. It is a gorgeous game, and seeing all that, and it just felt like he didn't even try to convey the beauty of what was happening. It was just, he didn't go into great detail about stuff at all, really. And it was kind of just like that throughout the book. And then, I don't know why, I was just it was a fast read, so it's I guess I'm just going to go ahead and finish it, even though I'm not, super into it. And then the thing that just was the unforgivable, really, for me, is we got to the end, and, I'm not going to spoil anything, really, but at the end, you find out why Kratos named Atreus, right? And in the game, it's, really important and really emotional, and that's one of the things that just gets me so emotional. It's so good. And in the book, it was just this one little throwaway line. It didn't even go into the detail of what it meant at all, and I was just what the fuck are you doing? That's one of the most important things.
Yeah.
And it's just what? Why would you do that? So no, I don't recommend the book. It did make me want to go play the game again. I've kind of started playing the game again, and I'm having fun because it's a real good game. But man, it's just no. I don't recommend it.
So does the book end where the game does, without spoiling anything?
Yes.
Okay.
But it kind of clarified. I'll tell you something afterwards. It clarified something for me that I didn't fully understand from the end of the video game. So I was oh, okay, I guess that's what's happening. Maybe you got that, but I just wasn't paying attention. So, but yeah, no, not a good investment, people. Just FYI. I don't know. I'm not usually a harsh critic. I try to, be pretty lenient, but I came close to giving it 1 star on Goodreads, but I went ahead and I gave it 2 stars because I was all right, it's fine, but no, it's so. Let that be a warning to you, people. If you were expecting something better, it's not that. So. Okay, but that's fine.
Books are for nerds. Video games.
No, books are for geeks also, because geeks like games and books. So
yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's fine. All right. let's move on to some games, and let's just start one off with something that just recently has been making a splash for people. I'm trying to do a segue. It's stupid. It's not working the segue. So we're just going to cut to it. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Oh, fuck, it's not doing it. I'm doing it the wrong way. Hold on.
It's time for the Elder Scrolls Essentials.
Yay! I had the little noise machine, so...
It's back again.
Yay!
Yeah. So it's probably like, people are probably like, oh, Cody, you just put on the Division, and you're on the Elder Scrolls train again. No. See, the issue is, I'm very lazy. And I'll admit to this, where I took the Division 2 disc out and put in my Guardians of the Galaxy DVD because I was watching it in preparation for Endgame. And I haven't gotten up and replaced the disc yet. So I've just been playing anything that's digital on my PlayStation this past week. So
the struggle is real, man. It's
real.
Rough.
I'm a lazy bitch. I'll admit to it. So I'm really excited for Ellisware to drop. I thought it was coming in May. No. It's like the first week of June. So I got a whole month of waiting before I can play a Necromancer. I'm real sad about it. Technically, if I pre-ordered like the collector's edition, I could start playing on May 20th. And like, trust me, I've been thinking about it.
It's not that early. It's not that early. How much is the collector's edition?
I get an extra $10 for me.
Oh, well, actually, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's like it goes from 40 to 50, and I'm like, that's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah. Do you get anything else with it?
Oh yeah, you get like a mount, you get a bunch of XP boosters, like a bunch of stuff. So I'm thinking about it, to be honest with you. Yeah. So I was kind of sitting there, and I was like, all right, I can keep playing my Nightblade, kind of like start doing some stuff on that. And I was like, actually, I kind of wanted to start leveling a new character. And, like,
that seems like a great idea.
Yeah, right? And being a Dragon Knight sounds really fucking badass. The issue is when you go from playing a very high level character that has like these badass abilities to a level 1 character who does not have badass abilities, you kind of forget that like you gotta take things at a slow pace or else you're gonna fucking die, which I've done a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of doing about this character a little different. So I made a Dragon Knight. He is a Nord, and his name is Ursarock. Which is based on like my World of Warcraft character, my D&D character. Like, it's just a name I've always picked. But it's like something I did in my initial playthrough of, because like currently I'm in Somerset, which is where the last expansion was based on. I kind of skipped on a lot of side quests until the end, and now I'm actually going through and like if I see a side quest, I go do it, and then I continue the main story. And I'm really enjoying that because like I'm starting to do things I didn't do originally.
Yeah.
Like so a cool thing with Elder Scrolls Online is that they have like single player dungeons called delves, and I went into a delve last night that I've never been into beforehand because I just like skipped it just because I didn't pick up the side quest, and it was really cool. I died in there a lot because they, for some reason, put a lot of enemies really tightly together, and my character can like throw like a stone like boulder across the room and stun somebody. The issue is, the targeting is a little wonky for it. So sometimes you're aiming at one person, it goes behind them, and so I kept hitting like groups very far away.
The aiming's problem.
Yeah, the aiming. Yeah. But yeah, so like I'm really enjoying the Dragon Knight. Pretty much like a Dragon Knight's entire thing is about like imbuing yourself with powers of the dragon. So like one of my abilities is I get like spikes, like dragon spikes pop out my back, and like I get extra armor. Another one is like I infuse my weapons with molten embers, and like they look like they're on fire. It's really fucking badass. And then like I have like a flame whip, and I can like
I like it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like saying something else with that. I was like, Sam.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and so like that's where I'm kind of at right now with it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited for the Necromancer to come out because like you in Elder Scrolls, cool thing is that you can play however you want. Like if I wanted to play my Dragon Knight like a mage, I could do that if I really wanted to. Like I could just be focused on like being far away, but like I'm playing it as like a brawler, like up in there, like just slashing and throwing fire, but also meleeing. But like, I'm excited for the Necromancer because the way I'm going to play that is like a mage, like far back, like raising the dead, having them go fight for me, like throwing like flaming skulls and all that. I'm excited for that.
There's just so many things that you're talking about right now that remind me of a certain show that's going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
You've got dragons. You got flaming weapons. You're raising the dead.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Me watching Game of Thrones may have made me want to go play Elder Scrolls.
Fair enough.
And so yeah, like like Elder Scrolls Online is just a really fun game. Like I can't recommend it enough. I think it's on Game Pass, so if you're on Xbox, you can play it for $10 a month technically.
There's so much on Game Pass. It looks like $9.99. So.
$9.99. Okay.
Yeah.
It's $10 a month. You get to play it, and like just the base game alone is a lot of content. So like, yeah.
And there's so many games on Game Pass. So.
There is, yeah. But yeah, Elder Scrolls Online, loving it. Can't wait for Elsewhere to get here. Can't wait to be a Necromancer.
Cody, did you know that Monster Hunter World just came to Game Pass? That was the other big one I was thinking about.
Oh yeah.
Game Pass is just like going crazy.
They are. It's a very good game. So definitely also play Monster Hunter World. So I think that was like my top 10.
If it's your kind of thing. If it's not, you don't have to worry about it. Even though those palicos are pretty cute.
They're pretty cute. Yeah. Elder Scrolls Online. Still a lot of fun.
Yeah. All righty. So speaking of side quests, I guess. I don't know. Here's a game with a lot of side quests. Ni No Kuni 2. I've been waiting to talk about this for weeks now. So I'd heard about this game last year when it came out, and I was like, I don't know, like really long RPG. I'll probably play like 10 hours. It's probably not worth it for me to pay $60 and get this game. Then at the end of the year, when I was listening to a bunch of different soundtracks to like do my votes for like who's got the best music, like I listened to this soundtrack and I was like, man, it's got a really cool soundtrack. And then a couple weeks ago, it went on sale at GameStop for $10. I was like, hell, I'll try anything for $10. Well, any video game for $10.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Don't start doing drugs.
Not even any video game. So, but it's fine. It was a good deal. I was like, let's do this. I just love this game right away. It's so weird because it's not necessarily like what you'd expect me to like in a game. Because, I like those first-person shooters. I like gory combat. I like all that kind of stuff. And this is like such a cutesy, almost like Disney cartoon story kind of game. But it just like, I don't know. I love it. I guess the child in me is like needed some happy joy, And so, like, this game is it. So, Ni No Kuni apparently means another country. And so the premise for, I guess, the first one and kind of this one, too, is somebody, there's, like, two universes, two alternate dimensions, and, like, somebody ends up going over to the Ni No Kuni world and, like, that's just, like, it's just their kind of overlapping of the universes. So in this game, the president of a place that looks like kind of like America, he's driving, he's got Secret Service. A bomb goes off in the New York looking town, and then like he immediately like teleports to this other land. And he spawns in the little room of Evan, who is this king. So the Grimalkin is the people there, and they are like cat people.
Oh, yeah.
And so some of them look pretty cat-like, but Evan looks just like a regular human, but with some cat ears, pretty much. He's just like this cute little boy. And turns out he's the king of the whole kingdom because his dad just died, which is sad, right? Also turns out that just right now, so they've got the cat people, and then also in this land, there are the mouse and rat people. And apparently things haven't been getting along too well. So right when Roland, the president guy, comes over here, there's a coup going on, and the rat people, mouse people are trying to kill Evan and take over his kingdom. So the first part is like you escaping, you're helping Evan. Well, you're playing as Roland first, and you're escaping, helping Evan escape, and then like you switch and you get to play as Evan. and then like it's that typical thing, as you go you get more characters in your party and you can switch who you play as. But Evan is just so fucking precious and adorable, and he's just so earnest in everything he wants to do. So they eventually like get away, and he wants to build a whole new kingdom and like a place where everyone can live happily ever after, and a place where there's no war. And it's like really stupid and idealistic, but it's just so sweet, and you just like you can't help but love him. And the voice actor who voices him just does a really good job. And it's one of those things where like some of the cutscenes will be like fully voice acted, but then there will be other scenes where it'll just be text, and there'll just be like maybe a word here or there that people say. But pretty quickly on, like I just got so used to like Evan's little voice that even when he wasn't talking and I was just reading his lines, like I would hear him in his voice, and it's just so sweet. He's so adorable. Okay. And so this RPG has like just live action combat. So instead of turn-based, so you're out there fighting. You can switch between different characters in your party as you go.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Okay, you said live action combat, so I thought
not like full
fucking
motion video.
like
No.
it turns into like there's a little kid, like some cats fucking fight. Okay, all right, no, you just mean like action combat. Okay, all right, sorry. I was so lost.
Action.
I was like,
No.
what?
I was
That's
just
fucking cool.
distinguishing it from turn-based combat.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, so you've got it's kind of complicated. There's a lot of stuff that gets really complicated in this game, but the way that they like eke it out to you and like slowly introduce stuff makes it really smooth and really easy to handle. So like each person has 3 different weapons that they can use, and each weapon has a little zing meter. So the more hits you get with it, the more your meter fills. And then when your meter's full, when you do one of your magic attacks, it like gives it a superpower punch, right? And you're able to like switch between which weapon you're using to like, you know, like, oh, I want to fill this one now and then I'll do this. But it does this thing where you can set it to automatically switch for you. So I just had it always automatically switching my weapons because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to remember to do this. So you've got like your regular weapon melee attacks, then you've got different magic attacks, and you can learn different spells as you're going. Then the neat thing about this game, because there's so many neat things about this game, there are these little things called higgledies, and they're like little elemental spirits, and they're just like these cute little things. And so you add them to your party like you would like other characters, and so you can have 4 different higgledies at a time. And so when you go into battle, like these higgledies are like hopping around doing stuff. Yeah.
Can you say higgledy like 5 times fast for me real quick?
Higgledy, 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 higgledy. I can't, obviously, so it's hard to say. I tried it.
All right.
So yeah, so there's different types, and they have different abilities, and so like, I feel like there's probably stuff you could learn about how to like maximize the use of your higgledies. I never figured that out. You never really have to, because it just. But in battle, they'll be doing stuff, and then eventually they'll be ready to like do a real powerful thing, and so they'll make a little circle around them, and you have to come in the circle and hit X, and they'll do their special ability. And so like some of them will like make a cannon to like shoot out at the enemy. Some of them will make a healing circle and do different things. So they're really helpful, and like you can level them up as well and do different things. I never learned much about my higgledies. It's fine. They're just a nice little thing that helps you out. So I'm going through, I'm playing, I'm having a good time, like, until about chapter 4, like, that's really where things kind of started opening up. It was pretty linear up until then, which I was liking, and, like, I hadn't even seen any side quests until there, but, like, that's about the point where you establish your kingdom, and, like, you start building that, you're trying to recruit citizens to your kingdom, and, like, all your side quests are opening up, so it's, like, where you really start to get into the meat of the game, and, like, I don't have interest in like city building type stuff, but I really enjoyed building my kingdom and managing it in this because you just start with a little spot and it pretty much tells you like you can put your weapons shop here, you can put your armor shop here. It's like it's not like you're making a lot of decisions. Yeah. You're just putting stuff, and then as you recruit citizens, it's like this person would be really good in this spot, and so you just put them there, and it's really easy. And as you get more people doing stuff, they start earning money for you, and they start like gathering supplies for you, so you get extra stuff. So that was pretty cool. There's a guy who sends you on tasks to just like, so you have to get tasks to learn intel about how to recruit different citizens. So it's just like, but it's one of those things where like they're really easy, and like a lot of the time it'll be like collect 5 of this, and then like I would already have that in my inventory. So I'm like, this is sweet. Nice. I love doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then you're supposed to be doing like research and stuff in your kingdom as well. So like each of the different shops, like you can research how to make better weapons and do stuff like that. I forgot. So also somewhere around there's this other part that unlocks where you have to do these like battle skirmishes. And so instead of doing like your action fighting, like I talked of, so now like you have like a set of troops with you, and you're just like, you go out as Evan, and like you have to fight your troops against other troops. And so like you'll have a squad of swords, a squad of hammers, and different things, and you have to try to like fight the enemy squads and like manage your power to like call reinforcements and stuff. I did not like the skirmishes like at all. They were pretty rough. You keep freezing on me, and so like you're doing this freeze frame, and it's like a really weird. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's fine. But yeah, that's probably the only thing that I didn't like about the game. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so there's this. So I was liking the game, right? But the part that like cemented it for me. So every king in this land has something that's called a kingmaker. And the kingmaker is this like gigantic, fantastic looking beast. And so like the first one, the one that was at your old kingdom where the mouse guy took over, it was like this giant like stag, and it had like antlers, but it kind of looked like a griffin as well. It was really fucking badass. So, and as you go along and you're doing other stuff in other kingdoms, like you have to fight some of these kingmakers, and like those are like the huge like big boss battle fights, and they're really cool. So you can't start your kingdom until you get yourself a kingmaker, right? And so you have to go through these trials. And one of them is like a puzzle thing where you have to like, but like, I don't like puzzles, but like I liked this puzzle, okay? Because it was one of those where you have to like walk a certain path to activate these things in the right order and get through. But like after you stepped on each block, it would like fall away. So like you couldn't like backtrack or anything, so you just like had to find the right way through the path. And for some reason like I enjoyed that quite a bit. So you had to do that, and then you had to do like a battle like by yourself without any of your helpers with you. And then like once you prove yourself fully worthy, you get to go get your kingmaker. And so it's like this big epic kind of scene, and like there's this huge ball of light, and then like your kingmaker like spawns out of it. And like I don't want to spoil what it was.
Yep, don't, because I kind of want to play this game. Like, you're really selling me on it.
Let me just tell you, like, this was like I said, I was liking the game before, but this cemented it. I was like, oh my god, like, this is it. I'm with you for this ride wherever you want to take me. Like, yes, I get you. I love what we're doing. Let's go. And it was just like one of those moments in video games that just like stands out. And if you've played the game, like, you know what I'm talking about. It was just so fantastic, okay? And then what else was I going to say? It's just, I forgot one of the most important things. Like, part of the reason why I was liking it so much is everywhere you go, everywhere you're doing, music is playing. And it's this really good music. It's all fully orchestrated, and like every place that you go to and like different scenarios, they've all got their own theme song that'll play. And so it's just like, stuff gets stuck in your head. There's this one place called Hydropolis, and it just like has this kind of haunting, sad kind of melody, but I just love it. And like the whole game is like that. All the music is so good. And a lot of games like you play and there'll be music at certain points, and then it'll kind of fade and you'll just be like, nothing going on really. But like there's music all the time here, and that makes it really cool. And like even with, like, I wasn't doing a ton of side quests and doing stuff. Like, I was just kind of going through the story because that's what I was really into. And it wasn't until, I think, like, chapter 6. So there's 9 chapters total. And I got to chapter 6, and, like, that was the point where I kind of hit a wall and was like, okay, I can't really go any further because this new spot that I'm supposed to go, all the enemies are way higher than me. So, like, normally they've got a white label if they're on par with you. They've got a blue label if they're super easy, and like they'll just ignore you. They don't even want to tangle with you if they're blue. Orange means they're a little bit higher than you and you're gonna have a tough time, and then red means pretty much you're in trouble because like they're so far above you. And so I went to this area and it was all orange and red enemies. So I was like, fuck. So like I had to do grinding for the first time in the game. And I was kind of pissed about it at first. But then like I went and was doing these side quests and recruiting my citizens. But then I kind of got excited about recruiting my citizens so that I could upgrade my kingdom. So I was like, okay, well, I guess it's not that bad. So I did a little bit of that. And I still wasn't leveled enough to go. But I was like, I'm sick of this. I'm just going to go and deal with it, right? So I go and I'm fighting like these orange enemies. I'm avoiding the red ones still, but I get through them, you know. And then there was this one kind of puzzly area, which I got stuck in it because like you have to like turn the pedestals to like do and get through it. And I spent way too much time because like I couldn't figure out this one part, but really I just had to jump up on this ledge. I thought the ledge was too high for me, but it wasn't. I just needed to jump on it. But anyway, I spent way too much time in there. But the neat thing that happened was like as I was in there like fighting all these enemies and then like they'd respawn and I'd fought him again, it went from like being all orange enemies to like some of them started turning white. And I was like, oh, like I leveled up enough to like start changing the enemies, and that made me really proud of myself. So that was fun. You get to the end of the game, and I'm just gonna say, like, you gotta do some fucking skirmishes at the end, and it really sucks. Because, like, most of the game, I was like, I can pretty much ignore these skirmishes. It's like, it doesn't matter. And, like, there's not a lot of them. And so, like, I feel like you have to, like, repeat them multiple times to try to level up enough to get through them, because they kept being higher leveled. So I just skipped a lot of them. I didn't go. Also, I did a real stupid thing. Real stupid, Cody. So, like, I'm fighting with my squad, right? I had my 4 different squads I could use. And I'm like, fuck, like, I kind of wish I had better squads, because, like, I want a squad of spears so I could, like, take on these sword people. Never did. And then I finally I was pretty far in the game, real far in the game. I recruited a citizen, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to come to your city, and I'm going to bring my troops with me. I was like, oh, cool, I got some new troops. And so I went to, like, look at all the troops I had to, like, switch them out. Cody, I had, like, 20 different troops that apparently citizens had been bringing to my town, and I just didn't know because they didn't tell me. I was so mad. But then I had some good troops that I could switch out, so that was nice. But yeah, the when you're going towards your final battle, the last skirmish, there's like a regular skirmish, which is okay. Like, and like a lot of times I'd be under-leveled for the skirmish, but I could still get through it. And then you have to do like a skirmish where you're doing regular skirmish stuff, but also fighting a boss at the same time with your troops. And it was real awkward, and it took a really long time. And I'm not one of those people who's a fan of really long boss fights. Like, I don't get a lot of joy out of that. So that sucked. But then you got through it, and then you get to the final boss stuff, and it's actual pretty cool stuff at the end. I will say there's one thing I spoiled myself on accidentally, because I wanted to look up a voice actor, so I went to IMDb. And while I was there, I saw the name of a character that I wasn't supposed to know yet, and I was like, oh, that's too bad that I know that, but that's fine, it's no big deal. But then at the end there was still just like one more little thing, and it took me by surprise, and it was really good, and it got me a little choked up, a little emotional.
Oh,
so yeah, it was good. It was real good. I just had a blast with this game, Cody. If I had played this game last year, I like my top 10 list would have been different. And I was thinking about it, and I feel like this would have been my number 3 game. I think it would have because I mean I had God of War, I had Tetris Effect, and then I'm pretty sure I had Strange Brigade, and I feel like this would have knocked Strange Brigade down a notch. But it's really good. Like, I want to go back and buy the first Ni No Kuni game, even though it's only on like PS3. But it's like $20. I'm like, it should go on sale, and then I'll get that one and try it. But it's such a fun game.
See, I apparently must have been, I don't know, I guess I just heard some weird things about Ni No Kuni too, because I thought it would be similar to Pokemon, and Apparently not. So I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah.
No, not really at all. I mean, you kind of can collect these higgledies, but it's not really at all the same. It's like an action RPG.
Yeah. I want to play it. Like,
it's so good.
I've been looking at it for a long time, but yeah, I want to try it. You really just sold me on a lot of stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Yes, so definitely check it out. All right, Cody, you've returned to an old friend as well.
Yeah,
maybe you'd say.
Yeah. So Avengers came out.
Yeah.
I got the Marvel bug. I was like, all right, I want to play some superhero stuff. And so a while back, we bought Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. Because I think like a long time ago we had planned like a series based on those, and we just never did it. So
never did it.
So I downloaded Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which
and you played it before.
Yeah, I played both of them before. Downloaded Marvel Ultimate Alliance again and hopped in because I was like, I want to fucking play as the Avengers pretty much. Couple things. Still a lot of fun. Like, still a really good game. Like, the story's kind of interesting. I like ARPGs, like, think Diablo, Path of Exile, things like that. It's pretty much that. Marvel Heroes Omega was one of my favorite games of all time. And this is, like, you can see where Marvel Heroes Omega got a lot of its stuff from this. Another reason I wanted to play this is because, like, the third one's coming out this year, in June, I want to say.
June or July.
June or July. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I want to play. They're not going to be tied together. I know that, but like, I was just like wanting to get like a feel for how those games are going to be. So pretty much, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, if you've never played it or never heard of it, is you make a team of 4 Marvel characters, and you kind of go through and like we're just clearing out levels, and you get to boss fights, and like you can upgrade characters, you can unlock abilities for the characters.
Do you get to pick any of the 4 that you want from the start, or do you have to like go through and unlock the ability to use different characters?
I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but like I don't know if like for some reason the additions that I bought, just all the like a bunch of characters are unlocked from the start. But I swore like you started with a couple characters and you had to do things to unlock the others. Okay. But I don't. Maybe I'm misremembering. It's been a very long time. These games go back on like the PS2 for some of them. Okay. And so yeah, like I had a bunch of characters unlocked already, apparently. So I was playing through the first level, and like the first level you have to play as, I think it's Captain America, Thor, Spider-Man, and Wolverine. And I want to say like these are kind of based on the Ultimate game comics. So like so like the Thor looks like the Ultimate Comics Thor. And then like after that you can kind of like change characters out as you like, because then I went to like Cap, Hawkeye, Hulk, and Wolverine. And so I like this. I hope they kind of keep the because you can unlock different abilities. Like for Captain America, I got to have a shield throw, but then also I got to like have a power up where like I made it where like I attacked faster, and like so like while the 3 AI for the other characters were like dealing with like little bad guys, I was fighting one of the first boss fights, spoiler, is Fing Fang Foom. And like it's like you're on the deck of the helicarrier, like Fing Fang Foom is like flying around, like so you gotta hop on a cannon, shoot him down. When he's on the ground, like you gotta beat him up while dodging fire, and like so I would do is like knock him out of the air when he lands in the helicarrier, use the power up I have to where I attack faster, run up to his like shins and just punch him in the shins a lot. That's what it pretty much looked like. And so yeah, and with playing this game, one, it excited me for the third one. I'm really excited to see what they do with it. I hope they kind of keep the gameplay the same, because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. 2, this made me really sad that Marvel Heroes Omega died. Yeah. Because like, man, did like an MMO ARPG based around the Marvel Universe was a lot of fun for me. I know the game had its issues, but like, God, was it fun. I dropped so much money on that game, though, so maybe it's a good thing it died. Thirdly, I think there is so much money, especially right now, as you're coming off the Avengers hype and like all that. I think if Marvel is not sitting there looking at some kind of shared universe MMO like Marvel game where you just play as the characters. Yeah. It doesn't have to be an ARPG. Like, just something.
Like a dating sim?
Fuck yeah. I'll play it. I don't give a shit. Like, if you're just, like, if you're not looking at that, realizing, like, hey, people will buy this and play it, I think they're insane. I think they need to seriously sit down and look at it. Because, like, right now, like, I can tell you, like, so many people are probably like, man, Marvel Heroes Omega sounds so good right now.
Well, there's still that Avengers game that Crystal Dynamics is working on that we haven't heard anything on. Maybe we'll hear something about it at E3.
Hopefully.
Maybe? Hopefully.
That's coming up soon. E3 is good.
Yeah, June.
Okay, wow, jeez.
Yeah.
Exciting. But yeah, like, it was a lot of fun. I'm really excited for the third one. Like, I feel like we probably should get a trailer soon, like another one. Like, maybe some gameplay stuff. I feel like it's going to start coming soon. And
it'll be 4-player co-op, right? So, I mean, you'll be able to play together. But, I mean, you know, you got to work out that Discord over your phone voice chat. Because, like, you're not going to be able to...
because Discord's on the Switch now, remember?
No, actually, that was fake news. That was...
Really?
No, yeah. I was really disappointed when I saw that. That was fake.
Really? Oh, man.
It's not real, unfortunately.
I thought I saw Nintendo tweet that out, too.
No, see, they do this thing on Twitter where they change their name and they change their icon to look at it, but then if you look at their actual @name, it's something else. Okay. So they totally faked it. It faked me out. I posted it in our Discord. I was like, oh, look at this. I was getting ready for bed, so I was like, I'm going to look into it later. And then when I went to look into it, I was like, no, this is not real. I'm so disappointed. People are mean. Stop doing that.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Like, why would you do that? Don't be a jerk. So
yeah, sorry for that, at least. Really miss Marvel Heroes Omega. Such a good game. Gone too soon. Yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, a lot of fun. I'm probably gonna keep hopping back into it and playing it, leading up to. I thought about it, I was like, oh, I could probably play this and the second one before the third one came out, but then I was like, yeah, that's a lot of work. Yeah. We'll see though.
Yeah. I think I'm probably going to skip and just do the third one.
Yeah.
I'm lazy. So.
Felt really good to just be throwing the fuck. Well, so Cap has the shield throw ability. What I didn't realize is if you because you have to hit L2 plus X. What I didn't realize is if you hold those, you can start directing the shield where to go. Oh man. Because I was like, oh man, what if I could control this a little bit? And then, once I figured that out, I was just making it go everywhere, hitting everything, and I was like,
nice. That's awesome. Excuse me.
But yeah, cool. Really good. A lot of fun.
All right, well, I'm glad you're at least a little bit getting your Marvel fix, because, we all need it. All right. So the last thing that I've been playing this week, it's called SteamWorld Quest Hand of Gilgamech. And I posted, I was playing this game and I was up into chapter 4 before I realized that it was Gilgamech and not Gilgamesh. And the reason it's Gilgamech is because everybody's robots. It's a SteamWorld thing. And it's just it's a pun, and the whole game is filled with these lovely puns. They have a really good time with it. They have such a good sense of humor, and I love it. Spoiler alert, I love this game also. So, this is a deck building card game that is a RPG. Turn-based card playing RPG. I don't know how to call it, really. What do you call it?
It's a card game, because a card game.
It's a card game. So... I've talked about Slay the Spire before, and that's what really got me into card games, and I really liked it, and it's not on Switch yet. So this was coming out. It's $25, and I was like, it just looked cool, and I was like, I'll get to play a card game. I will warn you, the first chapter is really boring and doesn't seem very fun, but then if you think about it as this is my tutorial chapter, I'm just learning the basics, so I only have these basic attacks, and I'm not thinking, I'm not planning, I'm not doing much, I'm just learning how to play. And it's a pretty quick chapter, so you go through it pretty fast. But then once you start getting stuff where you're unlocking new cards and can really make your strategies and think about how you want to play, then it gets a lot more interesting. So your basic story is you start out with Copernica, who is an alchemist, who's kind of like a college dropout. She's left the academy and is just doing her own thing. Armily, who wants to be in the Heroes Guild, but the heroes like won't let her join the guild. Like, no, you're not good enough. And then Galio, who is like kind of the nerd who lives in his mom's basement, but he's cool. He's cool. Okay, so Copernica is more like your mage. Armorly is like your warrior, and Galio is kind of like your tank and healer. So does that not?
This is a very interesting combo, tank and a healer. Okay, like a paladin almost. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would say he's like. Because, I mean, he's got the biggest health pool, and then also he's got the badass healing spells that you need. So, you go and you're fighting all these other robots, and there's a really good story. So, like, there's, an evil that's taking over the land, and you're trying to figure stuff out and dealing with all the different enemy types that come along. And it's a fun story. You unlock 2 more characters that you can play as along the way. And then there'll be a merchant, and they have fun with this merchant because she's got this like big wagon. And so like anywhere you go, she'll like pop up with her wagon, and you'll be like, how did you get there? We just like had to climb all these stairs and go through this. She's like, yeah, the wagon's real maneuverable. It's fine. So it's got really good humor. You can buy new cards. You can upgrade some of your cards. And then I don't know if this is the way that like other card games work, which I've never played one like this, that's the RPG. But as your character is leveling up, like, your health will increase, but then also, like, your cards increase. So, like, they level up to a certain degree as you do, and then for more bigger level stuff, you can go to the merchant to upgrade them with using materials that you get from battle. You get accessories that you can use and, like, different weapons that give you different boosts and stuff. So there's really a lot of customization and a lot of options for you to like decide how you want to play and like what kind of style you want to go for. I should say, like, so obviously you've got your basic attacks that don't cost any points, and then when you use a basic attack, you get like a little steam gear. And as you build your steam gears, those are like your magic. And so some of your cards require the magic. And so you have to like build up your basics to get the magic to use your good cards. So it's just like about balancing out like how you want to do stuff. And then each character that you have can have 8 cards in their deck when you go into a battle. And then you've got 3 characters, so they're all shuffled together, and then you're dealt a hand of like 6 cards, and you can play 3 cards for your turn. That's all you can play. But if you want to like use like a healing potion or use something like that, that counts as one of your cards as well. So you just have to like plan stuff out. If you play all 3 cards from the same hero, you get a bonus card that gets to come out. And so like each, depending on like what type of weapon that person is using, they'll have a certain card that they get to use. So like Copernica's was really cool because she has this like barrier shield that she gives everybody. So if you can play 3 of her cards in one turn, everybody gets a little barrier shield for a while. And then, like, if I wanted to get a different weapon of hers, like, sometimes it would have this, like, thunder wave spell, which I think would, like, knock everybody back. But I was like, fuck that, I want my barrier. I'm, like, all about protection, okay? And then there's also... That's what they both said, so...
Keep it safe, kids. Keep it safe.
There's also some cards that you'll get that will do a combo with somebody else. So it's like, if I play... Galio's Gigaton Punch card, if I've played any card from Armily right before that one, it gives Galio's card an extra strength to it. So that's pretty cool as well. So you gotta work out like the different things that you can do to maximize your stuff. There's another hero that you get that has different masks that they wear, and like when like each mask gives a certain different kind of buff, and like sometimes you'll play a card and it says it'll have this effect, but then also it'll change your mask. And like I feel like that's the kind of upper level character where like you really gotta like plan and strategize and know what you're doing to use that one. I didn't use that one very much. I was like, no, I'm gonna stick with these others. but also, since it's got different difficulty levels you can play on, I was playing on easy, and it was perfect for me, because it was like just enough thinking to like, you know, feel like I'm doing something good, but like not enough to like get me frustrated, right? And like for the majority of the game, like I would be fine. Like I wouldn't come close to losing any of my characters. Like, and I did like just if you have enough healing spells with you and the way you do stuff, like you can go into a battle with lower health and then come out with like higher health at the end, just because you literally played your cards right. So it's really cool that you can do that. It's just fun. I had a blast with this game. Oh, there's also, because like after you get to a certain point, this like kind of battle arena unlocks, and this is just some place that you can come like whenever you feel like it, and like just battle enemies to like level yourself up and get special rewards out of it. So, and there's like quite a few like levels inside there. It's not necessary for the story at all, but it's a place where you can come. So like maybe you finish the story and you're like, man, there's no more story, but I can still come and do this and have fun with it. Also, you can go back at any time after you finish a chapter. Like there's like a table of contents, and you can go back to any chapter that you want to fight the enemies again and level up. Oh, also there's like healing statues, and when you go heal at a statue, it makes all the enemies that you defeated respawn. So if you wanted to go just like grind and level up, you could do that. I didn't do that at all. There was at one point, because like only the characters that you're playing will get XP and level up. And so I'd been playing with this same set of 3 for a while, and I was like, oh, like these other 2 were kind of falling behind. I was like, maybe I should go play with them for a little bit and level them up. So I did a battle or 2 with them, and then I was like, you know what? I don't like these characters as much. Yeah. Like, I want to stick with these others. So, like, really, there's no point in me leveling these guys up, because, like, I should just get my ones that I like as high as possible. So, but man, it's a blast. It was like, maybe like 12 or 13 hours to play through the story on easy mode. And I would recommend it. And like, it's one where like I could go back and play with those other characters now and just go through some stuff and just, you know, have fun, level them up, try different things, try different techniques. 'Cause like, depending on what type of enemy you're fighting, like, there's some bullshit, Cody, okay? So there's certain enemies that, like, when you do a physical attack on them, they deal physical damage back to you. And so, like, you really need to only use your magic attacks on them. So those guys sucked. There's some enemies that have health regeneration spells as well. Hated those guys. There's different status effects that can be afflicted on you, and, like, you've got different items you can use to get those effects gone. But there's there's a couple people actually, I think, that fucking like petrify you, like turn you to stone for a little while, and like I don't think any of your stuff can turn that off. So that was frustrating. I hated those. So like you always have to target those enemies first when you're in a battle. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a real good game. It's really fun. It's really funny. At one point, somebody said something like, "Surely you can't be serious," and they did "I am serious, and don't call me Shirley." I was like, yes, I love you. It's just so funny. I recommend it highly. I'd say, I mean, obviously, if you like card games, definitely go play this game. But even if you don't, if you've never played one, I feel like this would be a good one to start with, because, like, it eases you in. Like, it's not just about the combat. It's got this story to lead you in. Like I said, the easy's pretty easy, so like you've got time to get your feet wet and get used to it without like getting your ass handed to you. So yeah, I like it. I recommend it. Also, like, it made me want to go play SteamWorld Heist, which this company, Image and Form Games, they make all these SteamWorld different types of games, and apparently this heist game, it's like a shooter, but like it's like a 2D kind of side-scrolling, I think. But like you have to like ricochet your bullets off of stuff to like go hit other people, and I believe it's turn-based also. So I'm gonna check that one out next probably, because it looks pretty cool. But yeah, SteamWorld Quest, it's great. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, oh my god, I'm so sorry. this one had really good music too. So the thing is, like, sometimes it has just like your classical whatever music. And sometimes you go into battle and it's fucking rocking out. Okay, it's got guitars. It's like shredding. It's like going like crazy. I'm like, where did this come from? But it's fantastic. And this one doesn't have voice acting per se because it's all robots and you see their text, and so like they just make little weird robot noises. And for some reason, like, I really like the robot noises, and I don't know, I just had a good, like, you go and you just like smash scenery as you're doing stuff, and like it'll make this little noise, and I'm just like, yeah, I could listen to these robots all day, which is weird because like it should be annoying, but it's not. So yes, all right.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. So
I definitely want to give it a try eventually, because like everything you said, and I watched like a video of somebody playing, and I was like, this seems like right up my alley, because like, I really like Slay the Spire, card games are my jam, so yeah, I definitely want to try it. I think you'd definitely like this one, and you'd probably play that tougher hero, because you'd probably like all that. I think you would. Okay. I'm excited. Yeah. All right. Let's move into some news. We're going to try to go through the news pretty quick, if I can talk. Because we've got a lot of just weird fucking stories this week. Like, what's going on in the world? I don't know. Okay, first up. So, there's this game called A Dark Room. And Brittany was talking about this on What's Good Games last week. And like she didn't want to spoil, like she said it was hard to talk about without spoiling it, and it's like a text-based resource management game, which what the fuck does that even mean, right? Yeah. But like, and she said it really, she didn't think she'd like it, but it surprised her, and it was really interesting and intriguing and mysterious, and like, I like mysterious things. It was only supposed to be like $5 or something. I do like mysteries. I like mysterious things. If it's mysterious, it's intriguing, right? Yeah. So I immediately, like, I paused the podcast and was like, let me go get my Switch, and I want to, like, go download this game. And I couldn't find it. I was searching for it, and it just wasn't showing up. I was like, that's weird. I'll look on the computer later. I looked on the computer, and it was like the search results would have a page for it, and you'd click on it, and it's the Nintendo page. And it would say, whoops, like, this page is not available. And I was like, what's going on? And, like, I tweeted at the company and was like, hey, I'm trying to find your game. Like, I can't find it. Help me. And they never tweeted back. So then this news story comes out. So apparently, the developer of this game included this secret code editor inside his game, which, like, you could only get to if you plugged in a keyboard and hit the, like, tilde key. Which, like, no one's ever going to do that, like, right? Like, I didn't even know you could plug in a keyboard to the Switch, right? So it's a weird thing, and it's, like, it's not even, like, you couldn't even do much with the code editor. You could just, like, have some fun changing some stuff in the game, right? So, I mean, I guess that's a big no-no, just having a code editor snuck into the game that they didn't know about. So, okay, the developer's like, hey, let me just tweet about this and make sure everybody knows what I did. And so he puts it out there, and like Nintendo's like, you did what now? No, this is not okay. And so they pulled the game from the shop. And I'm just like, what were you thinking? Like, why? Okay, I can understand sneaking something in and having a good time. Like, yeah, this is my secret, it's there. But then you don't go tell everybody about it. Like, that's just asking to get caught. And also, apparently, like, his publisher is pissed because they didn't know about it. And, like, now that's damaged their relationship with Nintendo. Yeah. And, like, this dude's just, like, fucked up his future. Because, like, I don't know. I don't understand what he was thinking. So that's why I couldn't find the game. I don't know. Yes, it's not a smart decision. Like, I feel bad for the publisher because, like, they probably didn't think to look for that because it's not something you should have to look for. Yeah, and like having an Easter egg in your game is a nice thing. Mm-hmm. Having an entire code editor that you have to plug a keyboard into, that's going a little far. Well, having something that you know Nintendo's going to be pissed about is like probably too far. So 100%. He was like, I didn't know they would be that bad about it. And it's like, you should know. You should know. That's fine. So let that be a lesson to you.
probably don't do stuff that could get you in trouble. But B, if you do stuff that's going to get you in trouble, don't tell everybody about it.
Don't tweet about it.
Maybe keep it a secret. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's maybe, if you want. If I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Cody, do you want to start us off on this next story?
Yeah, so this is some pretty big news. So Epic Games has bought Psyonix, the makers of Rocket League. That's pretty big, because like Rocket League's like been doing their own thing, and like
Rocket League is huge.
Yeah, like they have partnerships with some very big companies, like they're partnered with the WWE and like stuff like that. Like it's pretty big that Epic bought them. So like and like one of the things spinning out of this was originally reported that so with them buying Psyonix, Rocket League was going to come off Steam Store. That has since been rectified from what you told me.
Yeah, just today I saw something. They're like, no, you'll still be able to. We're not saying you can't buy it on Steam anymore, because their first statement made it sound like you wouldn't be able to. Yeah. So yeah.
So that leads into another comment that was made, but I think like first off, like it's pretty cool. Like good for Psyonix. Like this is like an independent team that's been working on this game for a very long time, and like they deserve everything they're going to get from this. I give it 2 months before we see Fortnite cars in Rocket League and Rocket League cars in Fortnite.
Oh, there's going to be a Fortnite mode with cars.
100%.
Okay. Yeah, I see it. Good call.
But this is a weird thing for me because I want to say maybe about a week ago, Epic made a comment.
I feel like it was longer.
Was it longer?
Yeah.
Epic made a comment, like publicly, that they would stop doing exclusive games when Steam started paying developers more. And what a backwards fucking comment that is, because
like what?
Like it's a statement where like I feel like they thought like, oh, we make this comment, we're the good guys no matter what. In actuality, it just kind of makes you look like a dick, because like the only reason you're making games exclusive to your store is because you're not happy with your competitor. Makes no sense. Like it just doesn't add up. Like
it's so weird. It's just
granted, Steam should pay developers more, like 100%. Like I'm with you.
Yes.
But that's their discretion. Like there's probably something they have to do that like the reason they pay their developers is what they pay. Somewhat. I'm sure they could pay developers more. But to make this comment, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, and so when it was like, oh, Rocket League is only going to be on the Epic Game Store, eventually there's no Steam. Yeah. I was like, why? Like, just let things be everywhere. Stop this bullshit. Like,
it's like I've said before that I feel like this whole Epic Games situation that's going on is like this weird reality TV show that I'm just like fascinated with. And like, this is just even more like we have no idea like what's going on with Epic. Like, you know, they make their massively successful Fortnite game. We're like, yeah, okay, Epic's doing cool things. And they're like, oh, we're going to launch this Epic Game Store. We're like, oh, okay. So now they're like, you know, trying to rival Steam. Okay. Now they're like, oh, we're buying a game developer company. It's like, what are they? They're like, they've got some goals, okay, back here. We don't even know about, like they're really making something of themselves. Like, the next announcement, they're gonna be making a fucking console, okay? Like, this is like, they're just going crazy, like, trying to make themselves into, I don't even understand what, but it's, like, huge, whatever it is.
I think something I kind of am fearful of with this, because, you know, they're kind of getting a little big for their britches, let's say, is that Epic does make the Unreal Engine. And I'm kind of fearful they're going to be like, oh, unless you start, like, either only being on the Epic Game Store, you can't use our engine anymore. Things like that. I'm worried about those kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why you would be. I'm not super worried about that, just because, like, it's been out there for so long. I'm sure they make so much money from it. They want everyone using Unreal Engine. And, like, when they set up the Epic Game Store, they were like, they said, you know, like, you're going to get charged this much if you put it on Epic Game Store. If you put it on Steam and use Unreal Engine, you're going to get charged more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've got it set up, but I don't think they want to limit who uses that, because I think they want everyone using that.
It's very interesting because, like, do they stop here? Also, I did not even realize.
No,
I thought
they're not stopping.
Yeah, they're definitely not. How did Microsoft or like any of these, like Sony, how have they not bought Psyonix? Like, this is a very big like win for Epic in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, I'm shocked that Microsoft didn't buy it. To be honest with you, but yeah, like, I mean, good for Epic.
Well,
like,
I feel like, I mean, I know Epic is like having exclusives on their store, but I feel like Microsoft or Sony, if they'd bought something, they would have wanted to lock it down more and
true.
definitely make it exclusive to them. And Psyonix was probably resistant to that because everybody plays Rocket League everywhere, and they want to keep that. And I feel, yeah, they do. And I feel like Epic is still gonna like let them like be everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that they're probably resistant to being bought out. Okay.
The one thing, like, because I mean, we just had the article about crunch at Fortnite and how people are being so overworked to like get stuff out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, the more stuff that Epic is doing, like that just means more crazy work. I don't know.
Random thoughts came to my head.
Yeah.
Bungie is now a third-party developer. Epic buys Bungie. Holy shit. Because
that'd be weird.
Once Destiny 2 is done and they do Destiny 3, like, that's either going on like the Steam store or like it's not going to be on the Battle.net launcher because Battle.net's for Activision and stuff, and it's not going to be Activision anymore. So they're going to need to like start looking at partnerships.
That's so fucking weird because like all three Destiny games will be on different launchers then, right? Because Destiny 1 wasn't on.
Yeah, Destiny 1's not on PC at all, so yeah.
Oh, it's not? Oops, sucks to be PC players.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting.
Okay.
I'm interested to see that. Oh, if that happens, that's going to be crazy. All right. Ooh, that's a rabbit hole. All right, well, good for Epic.
There's stuff going on, man. We don't know what's happening. Good for them. If everybody's happy, I'm happy for them. But I don't know. I hope it goes well.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Can't wait to have a Loot Llama car in Rocket League.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. It's been a while since I played Fortnite.
Yeah, but yeah.
Long time.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna skip one story that you can come back to, because let me go to from one crazy to another crazy. Okay, so, all right, Borderlands 3 had another little live stream. They're showing stuff off. Okay,
this is the big reveal event.
Okay, yeah.
Like, this is like their big thing where they're like, hey, here's gameplay. Content creators are here. Crazy stuff. All right, sorry, Kev.
Let me tell you, Cody, the last one I watched for Borderlands 3 was so boring that I just had no interest in watching this one. Okay? Fair. So I didn't watch it. This is what I'm hearing afterwards, okay? Randy Pitchford, leader of Gearbox Games. It's Gearbox, right? Yeah, it's Gearbox.
Is he leader of Gearbox or is he leader of the Borderlands team? I feel like he's
Gearbox.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, sorry,
okay, all right. So he's talking about stuff. He's like getting people hyped. He's like, "Hey, there's going to be no microtransactions in this game." But then later, it's like, "Oh yeah, but there. I mean, you can buy cosmetics stuff." So I would say reasonably, Game Informer published an article that said along the lines of, despite what Randy Pitchford said about there being no microtransactions, there are microtransactions to buy cosmetics. And so this is on Twitter, right? They posted their article. Randy Pitchford is pissed. And he's replying back to them saying, like, something about, like, your shitty clickbait article. How could you do this? You know what I was talking about. Like, you're totally making this seem like I was lying. And, like, there's this back and forth. Like, you should go find Game Informer's tweet about this and just read through all the responses that go back and forth. Because, like, he's straight up attacking Game Informer and being like, you're damaging my reputation. He's, like, calling people out personally. He's like, Andy, how could you do this to me? And it's just like, but you said there were no microtransactions. But buying cosmetics are microtransactions.
Yeah.
So we're all just like, what is happening right now?
One, it's fucking crazy. Randy Pitchford is going
Randy
off.
Pitchford is
I feel like this probably
something.
comes from a place of, because I don't think we ever talked about it on the podcast, but a few months ago, a story came out about a video he had and something about a magic show. There was a story about Randy Pitchford, and I feel like he's probably now very overprotective of his image because of that story. Everyone who likes video games probably knows something about this Randy Pitchford story. So I feel like he's very like protective of his image ever since then. And so when they were like, he's a liar, he was like, oh fuck no, I am not a liar, people. Fuck you. And like, yeah, it's something. I read the entire thing and I was like, okay man, like just take a step back, like
that's what he said. I mean, they were just repeating what he said.
And I think there needs to be, because like there are people who are just like, I understand like being loyal to a brand and like being like, hey, like we love Borderlands. Like how dare you like write something bad about Borderlands? But if you come out and say there are no microtransactions, and what you mean is there are no loot boxes.
Yes.
You need to clarify, hey, there's no loot boxes.
Yeah.
You can still buy cosmetics. There's nothing wrong with cosmetics that you pay money for because you choose to buy those. Loot boxes are an entirely different fucking problem in the microtransaction universe. But don't come out and be like, hey, there are no microtransactions. Act like you are some hoity-toity big shot because, oh my god, we have no microtransactions. We're the knight in shining armor you've been looking for. And then turns out, no, you're a lying piece of shit. There are microtransactions. Like, don't do that. It's bad.
Well, hold on. I mean, and he wasn't trying to be dishonest or lie. He was probably just like caught up in the moment and whatever. Like, I'm not thinking that he was purposely trying to deceive people because obviously they're gonna like know what it is. He was just like, I don't know. He just misspoke, said something in a way he should not have said it. It wasn't well thought
he probably
out, perhaps.
did. But then it's like doubling down on it on Twitter. Yeah. It was a little like, all right, man, like you're not looking good right now. I think the issue is that certain Game Informer's going to call him on it. I'm sure like Kotaku will call him out on it. But there were like people who were flown out there specifically and paid to like do stuff for them, and like they're probably going to have like a legal thing where like they can't talk about that. So like it's good on Game Informer to like come out and like say stuff about it.
Well, and also just good on the Game Informer staff because like the staff members were replying and like being supportive of the author of that article and being like, you know, this is what was said. We're just reporting the news. We're not trying to attack anybody. So good on them for staying true to their team. So
for the Borderlands 3 reveal event overall, I refuse to watch anything because I don't want to be spoiled on anything. Like I want to go in and like be fresh on that game. So like there are like thousands of videos on YouTube. So be careful if you're trying to avoid anything because like I've been dodging videos left and right.
Cool. Yeah. Like I said, the trailer from the first event was really cool, but like I don't have an interest in sitting through a second event, and I saw enough that I'm excited about it. So it's like I'm good.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. Cody, you got our next news story?
Yeah, so, to start. So Mortal Kombat 11 released last week. Pretty big, like, the reveal at the Game Awards was really awesome, things like that. But some stuff has come out ever since the release, and it's looking pretty bad. Like, the first step is that at NetherRealm, there was unbelievable crunch. Like, ridiculous amounts of crunch, and...
Well, and kind of also just like abusive contractors and like the way they were treated. And the thing I read was saying how I'm sorry, it's the article you sent me to read. It was saying how a lot of these contractors were like fresh out of school, like this was their first big job. They were trying really hard to like impress the people at NetherRealm. NetherRealm or NeverRealm?
Nether. Like
I'm just thinking of nether regions, and I'm like, that's not it. But anyway, okay, so they were working real hard. They're getting pushed, and like the executives and stuff were like leading them on, and then like never hiring any of the people who put in all this hard work, and like being kind of abusive to them. Which is really not cool to hear.
Yeah. And then I saw this last night. We were recording this on May 2nd. I saw this on May 1st. Author from Waypoint released an article, and then today on May 2nd, an author from Kotaku, released an article talking about how Ronda Rousey, the UFC/WWE wrestler, did voice acting for Sonya Blade in the game. And if you do some research on Ronda Rousey, which I did not know any of this until prior to reading these articles, she's in the past made some transphobic comments and some other comments about some school shootings and stuff like that we won't discuss beyond that. But the main issue I have with this, that's a whole fucking thing. Like, I'm not even going to get into that because, like, I have so many thoughts on that. Like, don't be a piece of shit. That's all I got to say. The thing that bothers me most is that they pretty much used Ronda Rousey as, like, a cash grab and hired her to do voice acting. If you can find the Twitter video of, like, some of the line delivery she gave. The only thing I can compare them to is Tommy Wiseau, and I like Tommy Wiseau. I don't like Ronda Rousey. His voice acting, let's just say that. I think it's very bad for a lot of reasons. As someone who, like, in their wildest dreams aspires to be a voice actor, like, you guys have heard me do voices on this show, and, like, I'm nowhere at the level of those people who were professional voice actors. But, like, a few years ago, we had a voice acting strike because they weren't getting the healthcare that they needed. There were people overworked and, like, losing their job at 30 because they couldn't talk anymore. Like, this is a very, like, important business to a lot of people. Like, voice acting is a serious business that people love and respect, and it's something we need in video games because, like, you want voice acting. Like, reading things is fun. Don't get me wrong, but the voice acting, like, you wouldn't have the guy who voices Kratos, whose names I'm fucking forgetting off the top of my head right now.
Christopher Judge, I think.
Christopher Judge. Like, you wouldn't have Nathan Drake and, like, all these people, like...
And Evan from Ni No Kuni 2, which I was just saying was great voice acting.
Yeah. Like, and so the fact that they... Because Mortal Kombat 10, they had an actual voice actor, like, whose professional job is to do that, voicing Sonya Blade, and they chose to not rehire that person, and instead give it to Ronda Rousey, who put no effort in, and, like, her previous history stuff, like, that's just bad altogether. And, like, I think, like... I have never personally come out on this podcast and be like, hey, don't support a game. I'm putting my foot down. Please, if you're listening to this podcast, do not support Mortal Kombat 11. Because it's bullshit on a number of levels. The way they treated their developers, and then this bullshit with how they're... And, like, it sucks that you have to punish, like, other voice actors that are in this game, like, stuff like that, but, like, this is just not cool. It's not something I stand by, and it bothers me. Like, reading these articles, I was, like, basically shaking from anger. Because, like... Voice acting is very important to me. Like, it's something I respect a lot. Like, I remember when the voice acting strike was going on and, like, how bad I felt for those people. And, like, how bad I felt for voice actors who were still, like, taking jobs because, like, they had to, like, they had to provide. And, like, they had to do, like, what they had to do. And, like, it sucks. And so, like, yeah, like, this... I go read the Waypoint article and go read the Kotaku article. Like, they're very interesting reads. They're shining some light on some very bad stuff. And, like, I really wonder how, like, Ronda Rousey is going to respond to them, because she doesn't respond very well to critics sometimes. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I will not be supporting Mortal Kombat 11, and in a few years when Mortal Kombat 12 or, like, Injustice 3 comes out, I'll be reading very interestingly into, like, what they do there, because I'm not going to support a developer who does that to a publisher who does that to developers. I'm not going to support that. That's very shady. So yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to be careful making that statement, because as we're learning every day, it seems like all developers are being treated that way at these publishers. It's everywhere. So, and we don't. I don't know. Hopefully, it will change. Maybe if, like, unions get traction, like, it'll be something that helps it. But it's just like, seems like at least once a week we have a new article about a game developer who is crunching and abusing their employees like that. Seems like every new game that is released has this same backstory, which is unfortunate. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully things get better.
Hopefully. I mean, I really do. I think there probably needs to be a union. Like, I know Jason Schreier from Kotaku has been talking about it for a while, and I agree with him. I think there probably needs to be.
And I feel like the really unfortunate thing is, like, you can say, I'm not going to support this game because of these reasons. And there are going to be people who are also going to say, I'm not going to support this game because of these reasons. But then I feel like the majority of people who buy these games don't follow the industry. They don't look into things. They have no idea what's going on. They're just like, oh yeah, this looks like a cool game. I guess I'm going to get it. And so as long as they're still making money, like, I don't know. I feel like they're not going to change as much. So it's just a really unfortunate situation. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of unfortunate situations, I don't know. This is just in further weird news today. Okay. So, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie trailer came out this week, and a lot of people hated it. Cody, you didn't hate it. What did you think?
So, hold on to your seats. I like the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. I had no problem with it. My biggest complaint with the trailer, why was he walking around a gangster's paradise?
Yeah, that was weird.
That was a weird music choice. Like, anything else.
Anything.
I'll admit, the CGI for Sonic, a little strange. But, like, we're not going to get a direct one-to-one. Like, it's just not something that happens. I mean, granted, like, the Detective Pikachu, it looks like a Pikachu. Whatever. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm a big... I like Jim Carrey as an actor. I think he's funny. Like, I've always liked him in all of his stuff. So, him as... I'm not a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan, so apologies. It's Dr. Robotnik, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, no. Is it?
Yes, Dr. Robotnik. Because here's the thing, I was watching it and I was like, isn't Dr. Robotnik a robot? Which he might not be. I've played Sonic. I don't remember it. He rides around in a robot, but I guess he's not. But I just expected him to be a robot, and when he wasn't, I was like, huh, okay. But I think that was just me not knowing what's going on.
Yeah. I think he's gonna do pretty good, and like. Everyone's like, he doesn't look like it from the video games, but like at the end of the trailer, they do show him as like pretty much. He's just not fat. Sorry. I don't know. I think it's gonna be an alright movie. Like, I don't think it's gonna be bad. I like the trailer personally. What did you think of the trailer, Sam?
So first off, I hadn't watched this trailer yet. It was posted in Discord. We had some people replying. A couple people were like, "Oh yeah, that Jim Carrey, I'm out. I don't care for him. I'm not a fan." And I was thinking, "Oh, like, I'm fine with Jim Carrey. I think I'd be fine." And so then I went and watched the trailer, and I was 100% fine with Sonic. I was like, "Oh, he looks fine. He's doing some stuff. It's whatever." Then Jim Carrey comes on, and I'm like, you know what? Now that I think about it, I don't think I actually do like Jim Carrey. As like, I think he's annoying a lot, and he seemed really annoying in this trailer. I'm like, I do not want to watch that movie with him in it. So I feel like how you feel about Jim Carrey is going to have a big influence on what you think about this movie.
Apparently.
But, I mean, the rest of it looked cool. I would have been in for it otherwise, but... the thing that, like, a lot of people keep trying to remind people is, like, this movie's probably not made for you. It's made for kids, and, like, kids are gonna love this shit, right? So it's interesting to think that, and then breaking news today, like, so many people have been complaining about it that I think the director of the movie tweeted out, like, hey, we hear you guys. We really appreciate the feedback. Like, we're going to go make changes. We want to make this better. And that was surprising. So it's just amazing that the world we live in now is like, people can bitch so loudly that a film director's like, nope, we're going to go back and change stuff now. And then also what a lot of people are asking after that tweet is, well, are you pushing back the release date, or are you going to fucking crunch your employees to make these changes that you've just promised? And, like, that's a bad situation as well. So.
Yeah, because when I saw the tweet, I was like, okay, that's nice. Like, you're going to make Sonic look a little bit more like video game Sonic. That's fine. I understand that. I didn't think there was anything wrong with Sonic.
No,
but his legs were a little
fine.
long. Whatever.
It's fine.
My immediate head went to like, well, wait a minute. If you're gonna go start changing CGI, I imagine. I don't know much about CGI. I imagine that takes some work to fucking change how a character looks in the entire movie.
Because I remember talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 and how the developers were like, yeah, we had this all laid out, and then they decided they wanted black bars at the top and the bottom of these cutscenes, and it took like so long for them to go and reframe everything to make it fit within that, and it was like a huge ordeal where like whoever was in charge was just like, yeah, we're just going to do this, you know? And I feel like it's another one of those situations where the person in charge is like, yeah, we're just going to do this. And then it falls to all these other people to have to try to make it happen. And it's not an easy feat. So yeah.
Also, you gotta like imagine like Jerry, who was like, yeah, like we'll use this design for Sonic, was like really happy. And like everyone was like, yeah, Jerry, we agree with you. Now poor Jerry's sitting there like, oh, I guess my
Everybody
Sonic.
hates my design.
Everyone hates my Sonic. God damn it, guys.
Hey, Jerry, we liked your Sonic just fine.
I liked your Sonic,
thought he was
Jerry.
just fine. You did a good job with it. Yeah. So.
I will be honest though, Sam. Who was the actor that's supposed to be like Sonic's like supporting like buddy cop? Who was that?
James Marsden? James
Marsden. I was like, I couldn't remember. I was like,
fucking Cyclops?
I thought it was Luke Owen. That's what I thought it was for a second.
Nose?
Yeah, with the nose.
No, like, why would you think
I don't know why. But no, I couldn't remember who it was. I knew it wasn't him, but I was like, who was that? I don't fucking remember.
Oh, wait. No, I'm thinking of Owen Wilson with the nose. Luke Owen. No, I'm thinking of Luke Wilson and Owen Wilson.
I was thinking of Luke Wilson.
Is there a Luke Owen?
I was thinking of Luke Wilson.
Okay.
I just said Luke Owen because Owen Wilson. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, James Marsden. All right, yeah. Cyclops.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Did you also see... We'll end this on a funnier note. Actually, maybe it ought to be that funny. Did you see the Reddit post where some guy did the math? Because at one point in the trailer, Sonic like goes like super speed and causes like an EMP. Mm-hmm. And somebody did the math like where he's at, and like if the EMP went off, like all the buildings that would be shut down. Oh, hey, there's a hospital in the area. Oh, hey, babies are born at blank seconds of a day. Sonic probably killed about 800 babies. And I was like, holy shit. Like, some dude sat down and did this math. And wild.
I don't know why you thought that was going to be a happier note. That's so sad.
Sort of sad. We're both kind of laughing about it, though. Yeah. So...
Consequences. Yeah. There's always consequences for your actions, people.
Fucking Sonic with your EMP running.
Yeah. Okay.
What a weird week in video games it's been.
It's been a weird week. A weird week in video game news. It's been a good week for video games.
Yeah.
For us playing them. But, yeah. Weird fucking news. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll see what next week brings. So, until then, you can get in touch with us. You can email contact@geekheartgames.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter at geekheartgames. We've got videos of this podcast, which you can see Cody freezing constantly on the screen, because that happened a lot, but I wasn't going to stop this again in case we had Discord issues. That's over at geekheartgames.com/YouTube. We've got live streams at twitch.tv/geekheartgames. You can buy shirts at geekheartgames.com/shirts, and you can join our Discord at geekheartgames.com/discord. We would love for you to give us a review on iTunes or your viewing or listening service of choice. And yeah, I am on Twitter at SKSUVAK. Cody?
I'm at Comic Book Cody.
Yeah. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Cody, take it away.
We're just two geeks who heart games. Do. Gotta go fast. Flex.
Do the Macarena. Macarena. I don't know how it works.
Thank you. Fuck, it's been so long since I did the Rock Arena.
Because then you gotta do this, and then you pat your butt and do some stuff. I don't really know.
Woogie. Wait, no.
Yeah.
What is that?
I thought, well, that's not how it goes, but...
Fuck, it's been so long since I did line dances. Did you have to do line dances in school, Sam?
No, but I fucking love line dances.
I'm a big fan of line dances.
At the dance studio I used to go to, they ended up... So there were these people that worked real close to it, and so they had, like, a lunchtime line dance class. And so, like, I would drive across town to come to this line dance class because I love line dances so much. And I had a blast. I love a good line dance. So,
top 3 line dances. Go.
Okay, so there's this one that is to the song A Little Party Never Killed Nobody by Fergie. It's okay. I don't believe it's a popular line dance. I don't know if like my instructor made it up, if it's like other people do it, but I loved that one. There's this song called Dizzy, and it's like almost like a not really country, but like it's just a woman and it's kind of peppy and happy. And there was a fun dance to that I learned just on my own, I think. Like, I don't know if I saw it somewhere, or maybe like a teacher like started to teach it, but he never finished it. And so I had to find this thing online to learn how to do it. And it was just such a fun one, but I don't think I ever actually did it anywhere. And then currently at the place where I dance now, they'll often do the Uptown Funk. There's a dance to that.
Oh, yeah,
so we do that one a lot. So those are my top 3 right now.
Okay.
What about you? Do you have...
Oh, hell yeah. Like, in middle school, they taught us the cha-cha slide. That's my number 1. Like,
oh, I hate that one.
Really? I love the cha-cha slide. Yeah. It comes on. I still gotta, like, dance to it. Just tossed in my notebook. Footloose. Kick off your Sunday shoes.
That one is so fucking energetic, man.
Oh, yeah. Also very hard to remember stuff. Takes, like, if it's played once, it'll take me a second, but then I'll figure it out. And then, I'm trying to think. It's either the electric slide or Cupid Shuffle. I feel like I'm a real big fan of Cupid Shuffle.
Funny story. Like, I danced to Cupid Shuffle, like, a lot, because, like, that was just a dance that we would do. Yeah, so it was quite a long time before I actually figured out that it was called the Cupid Shuffle and not the Cuban Shuffle. That's just what I heard. I was like, what? Okay. So yeah, it took me a real long time to figure that one out.
Oh my god. Cubans. I remember when, because I think the actual song, like there's like some lyrics that are not very PG, I want to say. Okay. And so the version they had to play for us at like our middle school dances was very edited down. And now that I think about it, like my middle school, high school, like dances were very weird because they played a little ditty, you may know of it as To the Window, to the Wall, till the sweat. No! And they would always bleep out the part about, so just naturally, as us teenagers did, we would loudly sing that part.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to bleep it out, we're going to finish that song. Like,
I can't imagine why they would play that song.
Yeah, right?
It's not right.
Yeah. Man, it's been so long since I did a line dance.
They're fun.
I went to a wedding last November and they were doing some line dances, but they were doing some fucking like country ones. And I'm not a big country fan, so like I don't know a lot of them.
My dancing career actually started doing with country two-step. Fun fact, because our Equality Center, they had free dance lessons for the two-step. I was like, sure, maybe I'll go meet somebody, do some dancing. It was fun. I made a friends with a woman that we were friends for many years. But I learned to do the two-step there, and we learned some line dances. And then later I branched out and learned some ballroom dancing.
I'm trying to think what else. I feel like there was cha-cha slide, electric slide. Was it electric slide or electric boogaloo?
I don't know this boogaloo bullshit.
Okay, maybe it's electric slide. Electric slide. Cupid Shuffle, Footloose, and there was another one I just can't remember off the top of my head. I don't feel like I liked it very much. Maybe it was a country one. Maybe that's why I didn't.
Because like Achy Breaky Heart had one, and there's like one other. Who's the feel like there's this the real popular one that I can't even think of. I don't know.
Line dances. There should be more line dancing. There should be a line dancing video game.
I'd buy that game.
I guess Just Dance.
I mean, kind of Just Dance is like that. Yeah. I mean, it's not really a line dance, but it's close enough. Zumba is kind of like line dancing, so that's why I like Zumba, probably.